Oh, YouTube, hello there. So as you guys know, I walk with crutches. And typically when I'm carrying something, I hold it in between my hand and the crutch. Which is why I grew up assuming that if someday I ever got a girlfriend, we probably would not be able to hold hands because I would crush her hand in between my hand and the crutch. But now that I have a girlfriend, in case you haven't heard, her name is Ashley, I figured out a way to hold hands while using crutches. The way it works is I hold the crutch with these 3 fingers, and then I stick my pinky out, and I hold her pinky with mine, and then we walk along together holding pinkies. All together on 3, 1, 2, 3. Aww. So anyway, we were recently on a date at the zoo looking at animals together. Aww. And as we walked in between exhibits, I would stick my pinky out and try to grab her pinky, hook it like that, and then walk along holding hands. But I noticed that on this particular day, unlike normal days, she didn't seem to be all that interested in holding my hand. It was like we would walk a few steps and then she would sort of let go. And this happened several times in a row. So I started to freak out. I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't want to hold my hand. Which means that she must not like me anymore. Which means that she's probably gonna break up with me today, immediately now. Which means that my life is over! So as we walked around the zoo, I was just freaking out in my mind. Now after the zoo, we were gonna go out to dinner, and while we were driving to dinner, Ashley was like, do you mind if we stop by my apartment? I'd like to change shoes. Which, by the way, is such a girl thing to say. I'm pretty sure I've never said that in my life. So I was like, oh, no, that's no problem. Are those shoes uncomfortable or something? And she's like, no, these shoes are platform shoes, and they make me too tall to be able to reach down and hold your hand while we walk, and I like to be able to hold your hand when we walk together. 1, 2, 3. Aww. So I realized that what I'd been freaking out about all day was I was just so completely off the mark. And I learned an important lesson that day about relationships, and that is when you think that there's some sort of problem between you and the other person, you have 3 choices. Number 1, if you think it's a big problem, you can bring it up, you can talk about it, you can discuss it. Or number 2, you can just sort of, let it go and not worry about it. But the worst thing that you can do is number 3, which is immediately jump to the worst case scenario in your mind and just freak out about it without saying anything and just oh no, my life is over! How about you? What's your go-to way of solving problems in a relationship? 1, do you like to bring it up and talk about it? 2, do you try to let it go? Or 3, do you just worry about it in your mind without saying anything? Talk about it in the comments below. Alright, thanks for watching. We should hang out sometime at the zoo!